Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Zero to a Million. My name is Nolan Campbell, and this very first episode, I will cover what is Zero to a Million, who is Reed Dusher, why do I want to reach out to him, who the hell am I, who is Nolan Campbell, but before I dive into all of that, I'd like to take the time out and say thank you and give a shout out to Clarissa Lindenmeyer for making all of this happen. Thank you so much, Clarissa. I really appreciate the introduction. Thank you. So first, I guess we should just dive into Zero to a Million. Zero to a Million is a behind the scenes look at me, Nolan Campbell, attempting to pitch a YouTube game show series type to Reed Dusher, who is the CEO and founder of Night Media. So let's jump into Reed. Reed used to be a sports agent before in 2015, I believe he reached out to Dude Perfect, and that's how he jumped into the essentially kind of management, business, marketing side of content creators, influencers, and he's had quite the extensive portfolio since then. We've mentioned Dude Perfect. Also worked with Mr. Beast. Currently works with Kai Kinet, The Rizzler. I mean, it's a very extensive list. 2015, 10 years ago. Needless to say, Reed was light years ahead of the curve. He kind of takes businesses, or not businesses, but creators from Twitch, YouTube, all sorts of places like that, and really takes them from like 1 to 100. Kind of hence the name Zero to a Million here. But he is kind of the master of the business side when it comes to branding, sponsorships, merchandise, really takes them to the next level, which really fascinates me. He really just knows how to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So that's Reed. So my plan here is to pitch you a game that is actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So what inspired me and led me to discover Reed was a Bryson DeChambeau YouTube video. The 100,000 challenge shot over the house, hit a hole in one. I loved it. Very captivating, very engaging with fans, just very next level. Um, what I'm trying to do is kind of captivate that same essence within a game. I really believe in Reed's visions for what's going to transpire throughout 2025, continue to grow. I believe there's even, potential for, like what you were saying, a basketball league to transpire. Now, this is not necessarily that level. I'll kind of just jump into a little bit of overview of the game. I'm not going to give exact details, scoring, rules of all the details, execution plan, but I can give a little overview. So I plan to incorporate football, basketball, golf, soccer, and disc golf. Each episode, each game would consist of three of those five sports. I do plan on incorporating hockey and baseball and other sports in the future, but I believe it's best to start with those five. It's sort of like a Hot Ones vibes mixed with Mr. Beast, mixed with Dude Perfect, but on a more personal level between fans and professional athletes. Not only current athletes, but retired past athletes as well. We can incorporate them into this as well. Um, Not to say that there aren't unique episodes out there, and going back to the basketball thing, I do think we should 1000% do a basketball style episode, influencer episodes. But obviously, if like um, you'd want some sort of partnership, some sort of brand ambassadors from each sport. Um, I'll go into detail more about that when the actual pitch, but this is just more of like an introduction. The actual pitch is going to be me challenging you to the game, actually. So I live here in Dallas. I believe you're in the Austin area. I'd be happy to drive down. I challenge you to a game, best of three. Whoever wins, or I mean, whoever loses, buys dinner. Um, so I mentioned five sports, football, basketball, golf, soccer, and disc golf. I imagine that we'll start off with, incorporating three. Each episode will incorporate three. So I say we basketball hoop, that's just a given. Let's use a basketball hoop. And I choose disc golf. And then of those remaining three sports, football, golf, and soccer, you choose a sport. You choose that last sport, and we will play. And I can pitch you the game. We can see if you like the game and go from there. That will also be episode two of Zero to a Million. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Nolan Campbell. Born in Dallas, raised in Plano. So, for the last 10 years, what I've been doing, 10 years ago, I was getting into an incubator called Tech Wildcatters. That is where I met Clarissa, and my concept was an idea called Drinking with Benefits. It was meant to be a rewards based network app to increase brand recognition, promotional awareness for craft alcohol. We're talking local breweries, wineries, distilleries, restaurants, anybody who really had a craft alcohol presence. Long story short, I came up with a bunch of features, made a bunch of awesome partnerships with local breweries, stuff like that. But I was trying to build a pyramid all at once. I was receiving fantastic, guidance, mentorship from Tech Wildcatters, Clarissa, everything. But I mean, I was just trying to do too much at once. Uh, I didn't have the right team in place. I wasn't focused. Lessons learned. Um, I was focused on just the 100% business side, and I needed to be focused on acquiring users at the same time as well. So, lessons learned. That led me to join a company by the name of Untapped. Moved out to Wilmington, North Carolina. I was there for about a year. Untapped just wasn't a good fit for me. Just not the right fit. Um, just didn't share the same goals. Um, Next, I actually moved back here and started working at a restaurant by the name of Steve Fields. And then 2019, I actually started playing fantasy sports for a living. So 2019 to 2024, I really thought I would just, play fantasy sports for a living. Pretty cool. Um, NFL and NBA were kind of my money makers. 2019 won my first big tournament for $100,000. First day of NBA playoffs in 2019. But my last big win was in 2021. So, the saying, you're only as good as your last big win. But that's kind of where I'm at today. Just looking for the next opportunity, next venture. I see a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential. a lot of what you were talking about with content fatigue, talking about some of these athletes trying to start their own channels. I just believe in a combination of athletes combined forming a game based on interaction with fans, etc. I'll get into the more fine details when they actually play the game, but that can ease the whole content fatigue and the strenuous schedule of a professional athlete as well. But anyways, I'll wrap it up with the challenge. Once again, I challenge you to a game. I'll drive down to Austin. You pick the day, time, whatever. I picked two of the sports, disc golf and basketball. We can play at any gym. I'll bring the basketball, disc golf basket, disc, just that remaining sport. We might need to custom, manufacture something, but we can always make it happen. I look forward to hearing back from you, Reed. I've sent you a LinkedIn message as well, so you should have my contact information, and I'll make sure Clarissa passes it on as well. Well, I look forward to creating episode 2 of Zero to a Million, and if anybody can make this happen, um, I know it's us with your vision, my vision, your network. I mean, I'm hungry. Thank you. Have a good one.